Welcome back. This is my long-term review of the SPB317, also known as the Slim Turtle, Slim Willard. If you haven't seen my unboxing video, be sure to check that out. I'll put a link up there. Okay, before we get to the review, if you haven't yet, please don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss watch reviews like this one. Thank you. The Seiko SPB317, or the Slim Turtle, is what they would call it, is based from the original 6105-8000. The 6105-8000 is the brother of the 6105-8110, which we know from the movie Apocalypse Now, and it has a much larger case size. The 6105-8000 was released to replace the 6217-8001, also known as the 62 mass. The bezel was a bidirectional, the same as the Seiko Willard. The movement is the 6105 movement with 17 jewels and beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour. The 6105-8000 is hard to find nowadays as compared to the Captain Willard one. Looking at it right now, I can say that I would have preferred the 6105-8000 as to the 6105-8110. I believe the case size is just right. I have yet to see one in front of me, but the Willard, I own and wear it. It is a great watch with a 44mm case size. Fast forward to today, and we have the SPB317, which is a perfect reissue of the 6105-8000. I say perfect because it can be bought right now and at a reasonable price, because maybe in a few years, Seiko will release an exact duplicate of the old one, make it a limited edition, and charge a premium. So I'll enjoy the SPB317 as long as it is here. The watch stands true to the original, and I have to say, I am beginning to love it more. I remember I said on my unboxing video that it was not as dramatic of a feeling it gave me when I bought the SPB143. I find this watch incredibly valuable. What I mean by that is that this watch is a watch that you can buy and will impress you. It's a simple, matte black dial, nothing fancy, and it has beautiful indices. Not as squarey as the original one, but somehow shows a mix of the 62 mass on the dial. Since the 6105-8000 is not that attainable because the longer we live, the harder it is to find old things, this one fills the belly from that hunger and search for the original. This is a great modern dive watch. I honestly thought it would feel like wearing the SRP-93K1 or SRP317, you know, the turtle one based from the 6309-7040. It doesn't feel like that. Neither does it feel like a Seiko mini turtle, the SRPC35K1. That's what I have learned so far by wearing this watch. It is definitely unique in its own way. The second hand right there is a nice touch which pays tribute to the original. I don't think I would be missing out at all if you have this watch. Obviously, it is more reliable now since it is modern, but the styling is still there and is still prominent. If you recall from the unboxing video, I said that I put this between the Sumo and the SPB143 in terms of the material quality. I say that because the moment I touched it and I looked at the lume in person, it seems like it was inferior as compared to the 62 mass. It wasn't that bright, and the watch was kind of not in that level. Especially on the aluminum bezel, which is painted, can be easily chipped someday. It's just a cheap bezel. It looks cheap. Well, in reality, it is, because it is priced lower than the 62 mass, and I actually think it's a good thing. Now, you might be wondering, what strap am I using? This is the Artem strap that Artem sent a few months back. The one I had was a silicone strap, which is here, I'll show you. It's nice, but it's not really my type. I'm not really a big fan of it in general, of silicone straps. So I went with this one because I remembered that my SPB143 was sporting this, and I had to see how it looked on the Slim Turtle. Here's the SPB143, and it's back on the bracelet. Boy, was I missing out on a lot. The watch looks expensive on this strap. It will be staying on the SPB317, and the SPB143 is staying on the bracelet until I can get a new one someday. I can say that these two are just strap monsters. In a NATO, anything would work well with these two watches. I believe these two watches we have right here are true modern classics. They are in my eyes. They just give a feeling no other Seiko at this price range could give. I could also say the same to the Baby Marine Master 200, the SPB185 or 187 and the others. These are just watches that are built and sized reasonably. You could argue the 6R35 movement is a hit or miss or even a crap at times, but then again, the 8Ls are reserved for the higher end models. If you can find the right price, you may be able to buy all three modern classics. These two and the Marine Master 200 versus for the price of just one brand new retail bought Seiko with an 8L movement. If you haven't had an 8L movement, I could argue you should buy the 8L. But if you already have, these little guys are gems, hidden in Seiko's vast category of watches wherein you're just completely lost when you open their catalog. So much variations, so much styles, you don't know what to choose. I'm telling you, as someone who owned some styles from Samurai to Sumo to Marine Masters, these are the ones that are worth getting, at least in my opinion. Okay, so I got a little carried away here. Going back to the SPB317, it is a boring watch, and nothing dramatic is happening when you look at it, and that's what I want it to be. Just another sleeper that makes you feel stupid for buying other watches because you can just have this one. I know I always overhype the SPB143. I do, and only because it is something that anyone can buy and enjoy. You can do the same with this one too. I like this very much. I have seen the SPB315 in person, the one with the gold accents, and I just overlooked this little guy. This one is for boring collectors like me, who just like the plain old black dials, simple styling, and nothing else. Maybe someday I can learn to love something ambitious like one of Seiko's nature dials. Maybe I'll go the Grand Seiko route if provoked. For now, this watch will serve me well in the collection. I'm glad that Seiko released this and I didn't buy it at the moment it came out, learning from my previous mistakes. Buy a watch when you're ready, not when you are in the moment. It will help you avoid watch buys you don't like and just sell at a loss. These Seiko watches don't hold value in terms of money, but they hold value towards the user. The value of dependability and heritage. Every time you look at it, you know it's going to last another 50 years if taken care of. That's all for this video. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of this watch down below, and if you have it, share your experiences. I'd like to know. I'll see you soon. Stay safe.